What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the single player Let's Play series. So this episode, I am finally going to get the rest of the network done. So over the last couple of episodes, which unfortunately have taken a few months to produce because of just time and, you know, editing these videos and making these videos take a while, whereas the Zelda series that I just started up does not. I don't know what it is about it, but I guess it's just the fact that I don't have to do things off camera with that, except walk, which I would have to do to play it anyways, whereas this game, you know, you have to craft stuff off camera and stuff. It gets kind of old. So this episode, I have a few things in mind, but mainly what I want to do is get these guys accelerated and then get ourselves to using this controller, because honestly, we've had this thing for too long. It's been like 2 months since I actually built it, so it's about time that I actually use it. I've updated an oodle ton of mods in between episodes, and as you can see now, the chat thing for the jetpack is a little bit less obnoxious, which I much prefer. But I've actually disabled it, and it's pending a restart for that chat message to go away completely, because up here in the top left, it already tells me if the engine's on or off, so I don't really need that. Okay, enough ranting, let's get going. So, I want to make the acceleration cards, I think is what they're called. And these guys are not actually that bad. We're going to need flukes crystals, big shock there. We need some of these calculation processors, so I don't actually remember. Okay, so I don't have a bunch of any of that. We might want to make a charger too. At applied charger. There we go. So we'll start with a charger. I'd really hate to run out of charged Certus quartz before our time was ready. We're going to have a solution to this eventually, so don't worry about it. I know it seems like a pain in the butt to keep on doing manually, and it is, but it will get better soon, because we don't always have to do it manually. There are ways to automate that process as well. And I have plans for a lot of automation in this series. Basically everything that we've crafted manually thus far, I wish to automate. So, yeah, it'll be cool once we do. So, not really a lot going on lately. Grad school is grad school. Let's see. So, yeah. Not really a lot to talk about. The Let's Play series for the Zelda series has been pretty fun, though. They haven't really gotten too far in that as of the recording. But there we go. We have a charger now, so this charger will allow us to... Oh yeah, I have the JEI thing. This charger will allow us to take a Flukes crystal, or not a Flukes crystal, a Certus quartz crystal, and turn it into a charged Certus quartz crystal with just a little bit of AE power. So very, very straightforward. Alright, so next up we are going to want more of those flukes crystals, hence why I thought about doing that in the first place. We're going to probably make, I guess, 8? No, come on. And then we'll grab 8 redstone, 8 nether quartz. We're actually starting to run a little bit low on quartz, surprisingly enough. And then we're going to need some diamonds. Let's see, we have 5 of those. Each one of those takes 3, so we're going to need 15. About 30 diamonds. Not actually that terrible to do, though. We're going to need some Certus quartz for sure. And then we are going to need some silicon. Do I have any silicon left around? It would probably be in here if I did. Aha, I do. Great. And I need some redstone for that as well. We're just going to grab a half a stack of this and bring it with us. Alright, so let's get started. I think that's everything we need in theory. We need some iron. Might need a little more than that. Okay. So let's go craft away. We're gonna need... Oh, you know what? Really wish the jetpack would let me go back up. Forgot that I need to go pulverize a little bit of this Certus quartz, or we can actually sag mill it. Alright, and now we can head back downstairs. So we're going to take this stuff and go ahead and make some more pure Certus crystal or Certus quartz seed, just because it's much easier to do it this way. Let's go ahead and do a bunch of it at once. And so, we want to make sure that we can get these as well. Cool. And that's going to get us what we need there. So at this point, we're just basically waiting on a bunch of calculation processors. We're going to want How many did I decide? 15 of this recipe? I feel like that can't possibly be right. Because we need 15 of these total, but each one of these makes 2. So we actually only need that many. So we'll go ahead and turn some of this stuff in. That way it can start moving. It's all going to kind of go in here, really. So these guys are also done, it seems. So yay. So let's go ahead and grab 16 or so of these. And this should start creating everything that we want. So the nice part about this stage of crafting is that now that we can make 1 or 2 of these, we can actually start accelerating all of them, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll start by accelerating this one. And I'm just going to keep on going until I've got them all done, so I'll see you guys in a bit. So I certainly seem to have miscalculated something. I made a lot more of these than I needed to. You guys can probably very easily catch my mistake, but I've had a long day. I'm actually kind of tired, so it's easy for me to mess up on math because I'm not really inherently good at it. Alright, so all of these guys now have their upgrades, and this is pretty speedy. I'm very happy with that. So that leaves us with one of these left over as well. I'm not going to use my charger until I absolutely have to because it's kind of a clunky thing to set up until you have it fully automated. So, you know, I'm not exactly looking forward to setting it up. But we'll put it in this corner to match, to kind of parallel that one. Try to create a little bit of symmetry. Okay, so on to the parts that matter. We're going to need a few things, and a lot of it is going to be automated, or not automated, but is going to be skipped, rather. I'm not going to be trying to do it all on video. I just feel like it's going to be excruciatingly boring if I do it all on video. So instead of even remotely trying, I'm just going to not. So what we're going to do is, you may be wondering, why am I tearing down the walls? I've already had them built up, and they seem to be working just fine, so what's the problem? What's the meaning of this? Well, the thing is I want to use storage drawers alongside my network. So storage drawers are not going to be the only means by which my network will be running, but it will be the primary bulk storage device. There are a lot of options that you can roll with if you really wanted to, such as if you wanted to roll with there we go. Like if you wanted to use just giant ME drives, if you wanted to use an automatic voiding system so that you don't keep anything in excess. There's a bunch of things you can do, but I've always liked the storage drawers method, and I think that it's fair to stick with it. So what we're going to start with, since we have plenty of spruce wood, we're just going to go ahead and use a whole bunch of it probably. We can go ahead and put away a couple of other things for sure. That way we don't have all this junk just kind of clogging up inventory space. And then what we want to do is we want to make a couple of framed drawers. Do I have a bunch of sticks by chance? I don't. I keep on getting my saves mixed up. So we're going to want a bunch of them, because if we had 15, 30, we're going to need about 60 of these storage drawers, which means we're going to need roughly 60 chests. And we're almost there. So the way this is going to work is we're going to need more sticks. So we're going to make framed drawers, and framed drawers are pretty straightforward to make. They're, as you can see here, they're just a bunch of sticks and a chest. And we're also going to want to make a framing table. So we're going to need some more spruce. We're going to need to do this number here, and we're going to need to use these anyway. So we'll make some of the spruce trim, and that's going to leave us with enough to make a framing table with as well. I can't believe I remembered all of those recipes in my head. I don't know if I should be disappointed or proud. So that's not where I want my framing table. I want it to be right here for now until we can move everything into its own place, because eventually we won't have these. In fact, by the end of this episode, I'm going to guarantee we won't have these. So I'm going to frame these up real quick. I actually have not tried this texture before. I'm kind of curious to see how far we can get with that. I kind of like it, actually. And then, let's see, we've got basalt. Did I ever install the craft tweaker tweaks to make this work? I did not. Crud. I need to do that. Does this one work? No, I can never remember which one it is that works. It's this one. This one works. Don't ask me why. I don't actually know why. And we have a bunch of alternatives from a mod called Cathedral that I added as well, so that's just kind of a cool little thing to keep in mind. Now let's just do raw chisel basalt and see, do I like that? I don't actually, to be completely honest. I really don't. We're gonna go with smooth stone instead. I think, do I still keep smooth stone downstairs? I feel so terrible for not remembering the answer to this question. No? I know... Oh! I keep it across. Derp. I was going to say, I know I have a generator for it somewhere. I just don't remember where. So we're going to do this instead. This is another alternative, is we can make... let's see, is it this? Yes, we can make polished stone. So we can use polished stone, and if we do this... Nope, other way. We want this one. Then that actually begins to look more like a compacting drawer. So this isn't anything new, per se. I actually found this on Reddit, but you guys didn't hear that from me. But this actually matches a compacting drawer, so that when we make a bunch of those, which we'll get to, they will be readily available. So the idea here is that we're going to have spruce trim right here, connecting these. And then we can just have a bunch of our storage drawers along the walls like this. So that leaves us with, we do this side as well. So there we go. And so this isn't going to be the only room with drawers. I think this room will also have compacting drawers probably, but I don't actually know yet how. We're going to figure that out. In fact, I might end up putting them here, but I don't really know how much I want to break that appearance. So we'll come up with something there later, especially because I think I would want more than 18 of them. So I might end up putting them in this room. We'll see. So this at least gives us some normal drawers. These storage drawers are pretty useful, and they can hold, as you probably already know, 32 stacks of items. So that gives us an idea for bulk storage, but what about little storage, right? So we're going to need a few other things, and then we can finally get started with everything and moving everything over. So we're going to want a couple of little things. We're going to want, let's see, ME drive. Well, actually, at applied drive or at applied disk. No, it's not disk. It's a storage unit. Are they called storage cell? Storage cell. We're going to do 4K. And we'll do at applied crafting terminal. And I think that should be it. So, let's see. So we're going to have to get started somewhere, right? And unfortunately, a lot of these recipes are going to be super duper annoyingly intensive on more of the applied energistics crafting from in the basement. So not really loving it, but you know, it's not the worst. So let's go ahead and get kind of running with this. We're going to want, for an ME driver, we're going to need 2 of those and a bunch of cable. Not a bunch, but some cable. Do I have any cable? Surely I do. There it is. We'll grab the last of the silicon just because, why not? And we're going to need iron for sure. We're going to need, that's just for the drive. Now for 4K ME cells, that's more iron, quartz glass. So let's grab some quartz. Actually, we already have dust, so that's perfect. And we're going to need that, which is more quartz glass, calculation processors, gold, bunch of Certus quartz. We're going to need gold. We're going to need... I'm just trying to grab everything. That way we don't have to keep on making trips back and forth. Going to need a crafting table for the crafting grid part of the crafting grid. We already have some of those. Let me see. Are they still in... here? Oh, we have these too. Neat. Did I already put those things away? let's see. We should also grab those. Oh, nope, they're still in my inventory. Good. So we're going to have that. We're going to need, let's see, gold, more gold. Fluix. Did I grab Fluix? Do I even have any Fluix left? I've got 2 Fluix left. We can grab this 5 surface quartz dust and actually use that for something, as a matter of fact. So we'll go ahead and turn that into that so that we can use that later. Let's see, dark illumination panels. These are all just some glowstone, more quartz glass, which means we need to grab glass and some glowstone. Alright, so let us begin. Let's start off with that illumination panel. We're going to want a whole bunch of this stuff. And then if we grab ourselves the illumination panel, come on, back a recipe? No? Okay. Well, we can go ahead and just do that. That works. So that gets us the illumination panel. We're going to toss that back in there. Cool. Now we can run down here and grab a bunch of everything else. So we will need... We can go ahead and grab... Oh, not that. This guy with one of these. And we'll go and put one of these in here. That way that can just kind of start passively processing for us, because I know we're going to need at least one, but it looks like we actually need another one, which I forgot about. We want to go ahead and let these grow, because why the funk not? That will get us those. So now we can make ourselves an ME drive. And we can now remove that from our list. We'll go ahead and move on to this next because it's kind of going to be the biggest pain. We're going to need probably... I'm just going to go ahead and throw in half a stack of these. Well, actually, no, we're kind of restricted, aren't we? Go ahead and do 24, I guess, because there's not a lot we can do until then. Oh well, such is life. So that gives us an ME drive. This drive is going to be one of those things that it stores items, and we'll have it for whatever we might need it for, yada yada yada. It hooks up to the ME network that we already have. So what I can do is just come back here and place it right where I want it, which I think I'm going to start with, since we just have the one, I'm going to start with one right here in the center. Just like that. And you'll notice that nothing is happening with it because we don't have any contents yet. So no shock there. So we're gonna need those. We're gonna need... Did I bring any quartz with me? Watch me not have brought any quartz at all. I swear that I had, though. But maybe not. Crap. Well, let me go get quartz then, because we almost got some stuff done, but it's okay, because I'm kind of shy on redstone as well, and I kind of wanted more of that. I swore I had more quartz, unless I dropped it? No. Weird. Okay, so we're gonna just drop some stuff off here. Sorry, this is gonna be one of those messy inventory episodes, which sucks. Although I can put the chisel away. I can probably put that away for now. Okie doke. So now we can make some Fluix. We'll do 17, 17, and 17. Wait, that's not charged. We'll hook up our charger real quick. I'm just going to do it the lazy way because I forgot to bring the right things for it. Come on, there we go. Excuse me? Chill. So we can just start charging a bunch here. And you can see up at the top, it just says how much AE is being stored, or actually it's 1000 AE. And then you can also see contained Certus Quartz Crystal, changes to charged Certus Quartz Crystal every now and then. Alright, so I think that's enough for now to make just some. Perfect. Alright, so now I think I want to say that we needed to go crush some of this Fluix for this guy, but it was actually for not that, but this. And that's okay. We can go handle that real quick upstairs. Fortunately, it's not all the way upstairs. We're all the way across, rather. Okie doke. And now we're on to these. So we're going to need one of those, one of these, one of these, and lastly, one of these. Hooray, we did it. So this is basically our access point to the entire ME network. It's not exactly fascinating, but it's definitely pretty cool. Now, if I try to put something in here, I can't put crap in here because I don't have any storage, any access to these drawers yet. I don't have squat. So I need to set that up as well, which I'm just going to do that part real quick. That shouldn't actually take that long. So we're going to need, what we're actually going to need is, first of all, we need to set this up. So we're going to do JEI synchronized auto, let's see, sort by mod so that it doesn't keep on changing. And we'll do the small center terminal. This is still plenty of slots and just keeps it from being the enormous monstrosity that it can be. This is a temporary location for this guy. We will end up moving it probably eventually, but it works for now. So, where can we start? Well, I think a good place to start is if we actually decided to get this wrench out. If we actually decided to start by hooking up our drawers first, because I feel like if we try to do it the other way around, we're going to run into an issue of filling up the wrong thing, right? So we're going to actually accidentally fill up, say, and actually, come to think of it, we don't need those there. We can just put the drawer controller right in the middle. But I don't want to accidentally fill up the ME disks when we should be filling up the drawers. So yeah, that's kind of something that I'm trying to prevent. So yeah, what we need to do is we need to go make a few last, but fortunately much easier, much more vanilla-like crafted things. Okay, cleaned inventory means that we can move on to this. So what we want to do is we want to get a drawer controller. In fact, we're going to want to get probably 4 of these. I'm going to guess we're going to want 4 of these. So that's actually not the worst. We're just going to need 8 and 24 and figures. I just trashed all that stone that I had, and here I am needing stone again. That's just my luck. So we're going to want 24 redstone torches, because we're going to want 8 comparators, because we're going to want 4 of these. Sorry, I keep on forgetting those have 3 each. And now we're going to want to grab a couple of generic type drawers. So those custom drawers we made won't work, but if we make a spruce drawer, that will work. We're going to want, what's iron? No, stone again. Okay, cool. So I've already got that. So all we need now is 4 diamonds, 1 per each drawer, and we should be good. So we're going to need 4 of you. This actually is not at all distressing to craft for once compared to everything else we've been crafting. So that gets us our drawer controllers. Hooray. Now we need a storage bus to prove this, and we also need to make sure that we have a key. I don't think I've actually made a storage key yet, so let's do that real quick. We're gonna need a few things. So to make a storage door key, what you need is we're gonna need some planks, because we're gonna need to make another drawer, surround it with sticks, get us a storage template, and then I think it is something like this, or like that. There we go, drawer key. This allows us to lock our drawers so that they don't get filled with stuff we don't want them to be filled with. That's important. So, the Applied Energistics ME storage bus is a pain in the butt. We're going to need 4 of these as well, so let's go ahead and make all 4 of them. Even though I don't have the compacting drawers, I can at least make those off camera for you guys, because that's a really kind of boring problem to handle. And then I'm going to need... oh, why did I just grab 4? I need 8 redstone, because I'm making 8 pistons. 4 of them sticky, 4 of them standard. We're gonna need slime balls. I guess we can just use this. These uncraft to 4 each. Good. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and craft up pistons. 8 of those turns into, oops. Come on, there we go. I accidentally uncrafted too many of those, but no big deal. Just gonna try to do that, but forget it. Alright. So, that gives us our push and our pull, but the ME interface is where things become kind of a pain. We're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to want 16 of these because we want 4 ME interfaces. Also means we're going to want 8 pieces of glass. And we're going to want 4 annihilation cores and 4 formation cores, which means we need 8 of these guys. 8 fluix dust, which means we need more. Of those, and then we also need B, 4 of those and 4 of those. Actually, yeah, because I'm not going to try to use the ones that I already have. That's just going to be a bigger pain in the butt. So far so good, right? I guess, sort of. So we can start by smacking down the storage controllers. We're also going to go ahead and craft up... Why do I feel like I grabbed the wrong number of something? No, I didn't. My bad. It just seemed really confusing for some reason. That gets us the 8 that we need. Perfect. Fun fact, if you right-click with the lock here, you see it's going to lock all of the drawers, which is what we want. We don't want any of these to be unlocked because we want to have full control over what they get filled with. So, yeah. Sorry, I know I've been kind of all over the place with this episode, but there's a lot that I need to get done in a very short amount of time. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys crushed down. Going to go ahead and make those and these. I forgot that they crafted 2 each, so we actually made more than we needed to, but that's okay. And now we can get 4 of these, which means we can get 4 of these. Hooray! We're also going to need some ME glass cable fluix, or any variety that isn't dense. That part's not the important part. And we're going to need to start wiring some stuff. So we already have this wired here. That's actually very convenient for now. We don't actually know how many channels are on this. That's something we need to keep in mind for the future. Because channels are important. They play an important role in applied energistics, so it's important to understand them. But right now I'm kind of neglecting that because there's a lot that is going on right now. So we'll play with the channel concept a little more later. We definitely need to understand it for sure, but it's just something you need to think about. Oh, and on the other one, I forgot to set this, so we're going to have to do that. I like to set these at a priority 1024. That means that they have the highest priority. This is what I was talking about earlier about not wanting other things to get filled up with the wrong type, or in the wrong location, rather. This is more or less what I was referring to. Now, I'm coming to the realization that this was actually really terrible design, the way I did this, because I only have access to this one part here. So we're going to just go for it and hope that we don't run into issues, but we're probably going to need to upgrade these to smart cables relatively soon. Smart cables will show you how many how many current network items you're kind of using up. So, this is where things start to get really cool. Let's say over here I had spruce wood. Now I have spruce wood in here. If I take it out, You would think that would be empty, but no, it retains that there's spruce wood in there. Now granted, it's empty. And that's kind of a visual glitch, you don't have to worry about it. So granted, it says spruce wood, and it'll say 0, but it'll at least retain that that is spruce wood. So if I try to put anything else in here, I don't have anything else reserved in these spots here, so it's not going to let me. It's just going to allow spruce wood. We can go through and reset that ourselves later if we needed to, but I just think that's kind of a cool little thing. So at this point, I think we're down to the point of me needing to redo the same process, but a little better. So I'm going to work on some stuff. So I was just finishing putting these storage crate keepers in here, so that whenever I break these, well, I guess this is an exception, I can save that one. But whenever I break these, their contents are saved. And that's important to me because I'm about to move a bunch of stuff, and right now I haven't finished making all the ME drives yet, which is kind of a well-known bottleneck for now. We'll make those in probably just a few minutes, but it's still important that while I have all of these now set up, and oh, by the way, I did redo the wiring underground, so here is our wiring path going up to these storage buses, and then down here we have a few of these dense smart cables coming out to these. Don't mind this kind of crappy patchwork, this was just kind of how it ended up rolling. But yeah, so everything is hooked up, and we can keep a close eye on the fact that we're only using 5 channels currently. By the graces above, we are keeping everything pretty low maintenance, honestly. So I'm just gonna kind of start plopping these guys down here, just kind of in the center so that I can run either which way. Because I'm gonna need to decide pretty quickly where a lot of stuff is gonna need to go. So we should have... I thought I had an empty crate. Yep, I do. So this empty crate is just going to be kind of like the catch-all. It'll be whatever's left from everything else. And we'll just put that there, but that's not actually what needs to go there. So let's get started, why don't we? We're going to have tin and copper and iron for sure, and gold. So we're going to put those metals over here. I tend to prefer all of these kind of staying together, roughly. So I have a weird and picky order, and I totally understand that it's somewhat hard to follow. It's actually based off of what metals were originally available to us back in the old days of modded Minecraft. So that's just kind of what it's been based off of, to be honest. Now I want to double check and make sure. If we come over here and check in here, great. All of these are showing up. That's exactly what I was expecting to see. Just wanted to confirm. So let's see, we'll do silver and lead. We'll put our copper in here. Hooray. Alright, so we're definitely going to want to have stuff for nickel. We can just put nickel here, I guess. That's fine with me. Uranium can go there, because we also have nickel block, too. Nice. And actually, you know what? We may do the same thing. We may do nickel and platinum together, and then we'll do... and we have another block of it. And then we'll do... do we want to do... Let's see. I kind of feel like steel doesn't even need to go in there, to be honest. I had originally done that, but I realize now that since it's not something we really harvest, it's something we have to craft, it's kind of not the thing that I feel like should really be going in there. Okay, next up we have obsidian, which is going to run over here somewhere. I really don't know where I'm going to put it, so we might have a bunch of nether materials, I would guess. So we'll go ahead and put all of those together. We'll have netherrack, and do I have soul sand? I don't have as much as I thought I did, to be honest, and that's my fault, but I certainly thought we'd have more. We can go ahead and put, let's see, stone, and we can move these around later. There we go. Oh, that is full. We're going to need to figure something out for that. Actually, we can do that right here. Now that all of our storage is here with us, it's not such a pain in the butt to change stuff around. So to upgrade one of these drawers, if I wanted to go to, let's say, gold, then what we would do is grab some sticks and some gold, and we can just come over here and do this, just like so. Now we can upgrade this to gold tier, which means it'll hold more. we'll probably end up having to do that for a couple of things, to be honest. Now, I'm going to show you guys a cool trick, is if you take, we're going to just choose this bottom row for stuff. If you take sand, you can actually interconvert it to sandstone using storage drawers, but it seems like we're going to have that same exact problem that we were talking about earlier. I'm out of storage already. So, do I have any emeralds? Probably in one of these. One of these. Oh, and you know, that can actually go right back over here. There we go. So, it was this one. We're going to grab the emerald upgrade, I think, this time. So we're going to need to make another... This will be confusing until we get everything set up again. We're going to need another thing. So why don't I go ahead and get all of this sorted up? You get the idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it, and I'll be back when that miserable process is done. Okay, so I've got pretty much everything important and in bulk quantities moved over. I still have quite a few compacting drawers left empty for the future, which is good. And then I have tons of storage in the storage drawer area left open for mob farming, bulk collection of stuff, tree farming and stuff, and then just more nether excursions that I need to get more stuff. So, yeah, I don't have nearly enough stuff, and this has been like, my storage has been a prohibitive factor, so I'm happy that I can finally kind of ignore all that and just dive into it. So, looking around at things, as you can see, very few things have high quantities except for the building block stuff, which this is kind of a variable thing. As things get automated, I'll throw up a drawer for it, but until then, there's really not any point in doing that. So, at this point, I want to look at the 4K drive cell. I want to get at least 2 of these for now. Do I have... This is where things are going to start to get a little hairy, is I need to start collecting all of my stuff together and figuring out how many of these I can afford. So taking a look at the 4K, that's going to be 3, so it's going to be 6 of these. We need 6, and then some Certus quartz. I can actually make quite a few of these, so that's pretty great. So the 1K is just this and some quartz glass. Well, as it happened, I made a decent bit of quartz glass earlier, knowing that I'd need it for something. And I'm missing redstone. Whoops. Alright, so that's going to get us 12 of these. We can then upgrade that to 4 of these. And then to house them, we're just missing iron and more redstone. Boom. 4 4K image cells. Now, the reason these are going to be so great is that as soon as I toss these over here, boom, we have storage that doesn't have to be restricted to what's in our drawers, which is already a lot of stuff, but we can now start throwing in whatever the heck we want. Now, I say this, we do want to be careful. Some things there's no real need to do that with. So, for example, I'm going to leave behind this, some of the compressed, I'll keep the triple compressed, but I'm going to leave behind most of this stuff because we're automatically producing it, so it would be best to store that in a better way. Most of this stuff we can bring with us, so I'm just going to go ahead and transfer the last of it, and we can finally call it an episode. Okay, so just a little bit of cleanup later, and we have a nice and organized ME network without a whole bunch of duplicates, or a whole bunch of singular items. We had a bunch of types just taking up space here, and we still have a lot of types being used. So we're going to want to make more of those 4Ks at some point, but that's not that difficult to do, so we'll get into that at some point. But for now, I think we have reached quite a good wrapping up point. We have done a lot this episode. It doesn't feel like it maybe, but I certainly do feel like it. You know, completely revamped storage system. So between episodes, I will hopefully, if I remember, remove the old Ender IO sorting system, and the next episode we'll set up a new sorting system, kind of get a couple more things set up, and maybe make some more of those drives and some other stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.